So it's absolutely true that there are a ton of amazing places to live in and around Grand Rapids. And today, we're going to take a few moments and we are absolutely going to showcase the city of Comstock Park. My name is Nick Belmore and I'm a local realtor, and I specialize in helping buyers find the home that fits them the best at this stage of life. So come along with me and make sure that you like and subscribe, because that's going to give you notifications every time we explore one of these amazing places to live in and around Grand Rapids, Michigan. Let's take a quick moment and we'll start to break down a little bit of the city of Comstock Park, an amazing place to live. And we're starting with a $305 price point. If we start to look at the average sale over the last year in Comstock Park, we're looking at about that $305,000 mark. And that puts it as one of the more affordable places to live in Grand Rapids. But here's the beauty of Comstock Park. You're not jammed in and you're not giving up the quality of life when it comes to the price point at $305. A couple things that we'll talk about. If you were to go ahead from Comstock Park, make the trip to downtown Grand Rapids, maybe you're going to see a Griffins game, maybe you're going to see a concert down there, you're only looking at about 11-minute drive to get downtown. Now, if you were to go ahead and take a trip out west, make it to Lake Michigan, Tunnel Park is normally the place that we look at. If you want to spend a day at the beach over there, you're going to look at about a 50-minute drive. So just under an hour in order to make it out to the shores of beautiful Lake Michigan. And then if you were going to go to the airport, we're about a 35-minute ride to get to the airport. So really centrally located, fairly close to a lot of the things here in Grand Rapids area. When we start to look at the schools, Comstock Park has a school rating of a B. And when we start to look at the description, what is it like? What are the neighborhoods like? We do see a lot of 50s, 60s, 70s built homes, a lot of ranches and colonials, kind of in between that era, in between that size range of around 1,000 up to around 2,200 square feet. Are there some big old giant houses? Absolutely. But as we start to get into a lot of the neighborhoods, they're fairly normal sized homes, and a lot of them not brand new. There's definitely a lot of construction in the area. There's definitely some 90s built homes, but a lot of them are those 60s, 70s, and 80s built homes over in that area. When we start to look at the places to shop in Comstock Park, there is no shortage. You pretty much have a selection of all the grocery stores, even though Comstock is a fairly small place geographically. You do have a Meijer. There's also an Aldi there. It has its own Walmart, and it's one of the few places that has its own Sam's Club there in the area of Comstock Park. When we start to look at some of the things to do, the public amenities over in the area, a couple of them that come to mind. Number one, the Dwight Liddell Park. And this is a great spot that has picnic areas in it. It also has a playground, it has swings, it has grills, picnic table, all that kind of stuff in there. Lots of trails, good sized park. And when it comes to Liddell Park itself, it is actually backing right up to one of my favorite things to do anywhere in Kent County, and that's the Kent District Library. The Comstock Park branch is right next to Liddell Park, and of course, the KDL system has so many advantages. If you've watched a couple of these videos, you know I talk about the KDL quite a bit because the libraries here are awesome, and if you're a member of one, you are a member of all of them. So from the books to the media to even just the organized things that are done through the library itself. And yes, the library here does still have the bookmobile, so don't be afraid to keep an eye out for that bad boy as it travels around to the different KDL locations. But this one right here is right up against the park, and we absolutely love that. Next place I want to talk about is the Krupp Farms. It's a U-pick place for strawberries, for asparagus, peaches, corn, raspberries, almost anything you can think of. And of course, it's kind of one of those cool places where they also have a little petting zoo for the kids. And of course, you guys know my favorite is that they serve ice cream there. So definitely worth checking out if you are in the area. Last but not least, I definitely want to talk about the Westgate Neighborhood Park. That's another super cool place if you want to spend a bit of an afternoon, get a little bit of nature in. And then of course, this also has a part of the Frederick Meyer White Pine Trail, which is a tremendous biking, hiking, walking trail that goes for tens and tens and tens of miles. I want to say it's over 100 miles actually when you look at the White Pine Trail. I've biked parts of it with my family. It's always a super fun thing to do, and it takes you through not just wilderness but also through the country, through certain neighborhoods, and part of it connects into some of the old railroad trails and that type of stuff as well. So a super fun thing to do if you are spending some time in Comstock Park. Okay, as we start to get to some of the other things, some of the more traditional things to do, I'm going to talk about one of my kids' favorite places in that area, and that is the Altitude Trampoline Park. Now, there is a couple of different trampoline parks here around the area, but I do enjoy the Altitude Trampoline Park. It of course has the trampolines all put together, but it has one of these crazy walls that you can just jump off of, bounce on the trampoline, and you end up going way up there. You can step back on the platform. It has a climbing wall. It has a zip line. It has so many different cool things over there. One of the other things it has, if you've ever been a fan of the show Wipeout, it has one of those big spinning arms that's covered in padding. My kids get in there. There's two arms as this thing spins. There's one that's on the low side. You got to jump over it. There's one that's a little bit higher up. They've got to duck under it. I am too big to jump over it, and I am too small to duck under it, so it ends up just smashing me to the ground every time. But my kids absolutely love it. So definitely worth checking out. There's also the Oasis Hot Tub Gardens. If you're looking for kind of a more relaxing thing and maybe you want to rent a little bit of time in a hot tub for a short period, this is a great place to go and be able to spend an afternoon just the same. Another one that I want to mention if you're looking for something to do in the area, there's also the Battle GR, which this place is pretty cool. This is old school laser tag, and of course they put it together with all this high-tech equipment, and they put you in all these different spaces to kind of go at and have these laser tag wars, but it's also Nerf wars. It's also all those super fun things over at Battleground GR. So definitely worth a check out too if you're in the area. If there's something you're looking for there, that would definitely be a fun one for the day. Westgate Bowling, of course, you know, listen, everybody still does enjoy bowling. It's one of those cool, fun things to do, and Westgate is a great place to go in order to check that out also. Definitely some fun things, especially for a geographically smaller area compared to so many of these other cities that we've taken a look at. Now, when it comes to Comstock Park, it doesn't have maybe as big a variety as unique restaurants as some of the places that we've showcased, but it absolutely does have some. Now, when I go through these restaurants, let me say this, these are not the only ones that are in the area, but I don't mention a lot of the normal chain restaurants that you can just find anywhere. I'm always looking for some of those unique, quirky, one-off type of restaurants, and while Comstock Park is geographically a little bit smaller, it does have quite a few decent restaurants that you can look at in there. First one I'll take a look at is the Amore Trattoria Italian restaurant. So great place to check out, very traditional Italian foods, just a nice place, great atmosphere, well worth a little bit of time to check that out if you're hungry in the area. Now, of course, one of the things that I'm always looking at too is I'm always trying to check out where are the greatest ice cream places. I love going out to get ice cream in West Michigan, and there's a ton of selections. Dairy Delight is the ice cream place in Comstock Park, and to make it even cooler, it is also right along the Frederick Meyer White Pine Trail. So if you might be cruising the bikes, or you might be going for a long walk, or any of those types of things, if you're using the trail system, definitely stop at Dairy Delight. refuel, get filled up on some ice cream. El Burrito Loca is another one. Of course, here in West Michigan, we love our Mexican food. There's so many great Mexican restaurants here in our area, and this is definitely one of them also that's worth checking out. Last but not least on my list that I want to touch base on here is actually something a little bit different. It's kind of a restaurant, but it's really more of a specialty shop, and this is the Cookie Chicks. Normally, I don't go through and just ultimately promote, but this one is well worth the time and well worth the effort to promote and for all of you guys to check out. Cookie Chicks in Comstock Park is, of course, obviously a baking cookie type of restaurant, but the reason that I love this place and that it's so unique and awesome is that Cookie Chicks employs a lot of special needs young people, kids, and adults. So when you support this business, you are absolutely supporting keeping special needs people in work, going ahead, giving them purpose, giving really the opportunity for them to carve out their own real style into some of the restaurant, some of the food service type of stuff out there. So if you get a moment, definitely check out Cookie Chicks, and if not, go ahead and you can order direct from them online, and their website is cookie-chicks.com. Definitely worth looking at. You can absolutely place an order on there. I'm not sure if they ship around the country or how that works, but I would definitely check them out. Do whatever you can to help support this business because they're doing great things out there, and it's well worth the time and effort. Okay, so thank you guys, number one, for joining me on this little tour of Comstock Park. I definitely appreciate it. And let me know, is there something that should have been on this list that didn't make the list? If so, go ahead and put it down in the comments. I love when you guys comment on these videos, and I love when you tell me about stuff that maybe I didn't even know about in some of these cities out here in West Michigan as well. And if you're thinking about finding the perfect home for you and your family, reach out to me. My information is in the description below, and I would absolutely love to help you and your family find the right home that fits you guys the best at this stage now. I appreciate it, and make sure you like and subscribe so I can get out more information about West Michigan to you guys. I appreciate the support you give my channel and my videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.